Hello and welcome to Failed Forward, the podcast for those of us wondering how the hell did I get here? My name is Rachel Durkin. I'm with Paradigm Marketing and Design. We are a web marketing, branding, and sales enablement agency that specializes in serving clients with a complex sale. So if you have a sales team and you want to increase the number of quality meetings they're having and increase their closing rate, we can help you build a marketing to sales infrastructure that supports that strategy. I am joined every week by my lovely co-host, Donna Miller. Donna, how you doing today?
I am great, Rachel. Thank you. As Rachel said, I am Donna Miller. I am Chief Visionary Officer at C3 Workplace and founder of Donna Miller Business Growth Consulting, where for the last 30 years, we've been helping business owners and professionals to accelerate their growth and success by providing support and advisory services around operations, business development, and finance. We allow growing teams and business owners to focus on that which actually drives their business forward. Our clients know that by bringing us in to build efficient, integrated, executable, whether by them or by us, systems, they are laying the foundation for building businesses that will run and grow without them involved in every little detail. So, delighted to be here as always, and happy to welcome Esther Poulsen to the podcast. So Esther, tell us about your fabulous self and what you do for a living.
Hi, thank you very, very much, Donna. Thank you, Rachel. It is joy to be here with you amazing women. My name is Esther Poulsen. I am the founder and CEO of Rare Solutions LLC. We are based in New Jersey, and we specialize in what we like to call marketing operations or the marketing magic. We are the data side of everything related to marketing. So targeting, segmentation, finding the right people, talking with them at the right time over the right channel. And then we handle all kind of the back end shoveling coal into the furnace work that's related to great marketing campaigns. So we'll handle HTML coding, making sure everything is tested correctly. And then all of the analytics and all the processes related to really making sure that a vision is executed smoothly, it's delivered correctly, and it is measured correctly as well. So it's I came up from the technical end as an enterprise architect and fell into marketing and customer engagement that way. I love what I do. I have 28 great employees in the United States and India, and I am greatly privileged to be here with all of you today.
You know, Esther, I'm going to hand it to Rachel in a second, but I have to say, how long have you been involved in this business?
So I have been working in tech for almost 30 years. So and then I have had this form. This is my second business. So this is I've had this one for 11 years, and I work a good portion in automotive and luxury. So most of my clients are in that domain. So if you've purchased most of the luxury brands in the last several years, at some point you might have been touched by something my company did. So, which is a
Awesome.
real privilege and real fun.
You know, and what I find amazing and so commendable is, everyone now, no matter what size business they have, understands the power of data. And we're all starting to learn how to interpret it. But this is something you've been doing since before any of us knew what data was. How did that happen? I mean, I'm just so curious.
Sure, sure. So I was kind of I'll tell you a very, very quick story. So when I was very young, I had been brought into an office and I was shown a modem or coupler, a telephone that went onto this little device, and out it made some bebop noises and it spit out all this information about me. I was 10 years old. I had been sleeping for 8 hours, all these years, and eating for these years. And it was fascinating that it could know something like that about me. And that started my real interest in computers. So I had started our school's first computer club. I had come up that way. So I was on the internet, one of the first people that had met and married someone that they met online before the internet even existed.
Wow.
So I've come up in that world pretty much
Wow.
from the last almost 45 years. I've been in this world. So it's been fun, and I can't imagine doing anything else with my life.
That's amazing. So Esther, I mean, your journey's amazing. Your passion's amazing. Um, was it all easy, rainbows and sunshine to get here?
No, no. The one thing
Tell us.
about data, your capacity,
Yeah.
the thing I've always learned is that there is an infinite capacity for making a bad decision or making a wrong
Mhm.
error. And the thing is that half of the battle sometimes is understanding when you've made a mistake, or made a bad judgment call, and then it's what you do afterwards.
Mhm.
I'll give you an example. I had a campaign, one of our clients' campaigns, go terribly, terribly wrong, really, really wrong. And the person that was responsible for it was devastated, but came back with a complete remediation plan, immediate, worked on it, got it executed to the point where almost the issue was certainly known, but it went, remediated immediately. Under some circumstances, mom might say they disciplined this person. I sent this person flowers because it's not just about making a bad call or making an error. It's about what you do about it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what keeps my team motivated. It keeps them engaged, and it also makes sure that we are all transparent when something like
Mhm.
this happens. So that's the thing. It's not rewarding mistakes, it's rewarding the outcome.
Yeah, and the attitude after that mistake.
Yes, absolutely.
I always say
Absolutely.
that to me too. I'm like, don't try to hide it. Like
Mm,
let's talk about it. And
yep.
let's celebrate the win. And the only time you can build, in my mind, true confidence. And I have this problem with a lot of more junior employees, or team members, or people I mentor, is uh, they're so scared of making a mistake and admitting a mistake that they hide it or sweep it under the rug. And to me, true confidence doesn't come until you make a mistake, are ashamed of it, and then overcome it.
Yes.
And we have a team member who was working on something and made a mistake and didn't want to work on that thing again. So they have to work on that thing again. That's the only way that they're going to truly be confident in themselves.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's going to follow them for the rest of their life. So I love that message. It's
And
and
that's
good for you for being an amazing boss that embraces that, because the way you handled that could have really changed the culture of your company.
Absolutely. And the thing is that we operate on information, right?
Mhm.
And that's management information as much as it is data, the data that we work with every day. So we look at it at managing up. And I'm writing a book about this actually. And
Mhm.
really just giving information up the line and not being afraid to speak the truth, because the more information that the person you're working with has that they can make good decisions, the better everything will go in the end. So, and you know what, no one has ever been, at least here in America, we haven't been put to death for giving bad information,
Yeah.
giving bad news. So
Mhm.
so we and the thing is that bad news can often lead to good news, because you're going
Mhm.
to learn something from it and you're going to be better.
Mhm.
Every time that something happens, you learn, you tool, you retool processes, and that may, catch something that could have happened down the road. So we're looking at this as an investment in a better and more effective future.
That's great. And the concept of letting people make mistakes, Rachel, you talked about, it comes from confidence, and our younger, the younger tier of the people we're raising up, they don't have that confidence. But when you combine a culture where it's okay to fail because we're going to learn from that, and you combine that with what Esther's talking about in managing up, that
Yeah.
is big time superpower stuff, combining those things. So Esther, talk to us kind of on the flip side. We all had our challenges. No, it was not rainbows and sprinkles. And I love when Rachel says that. Talk about, for our audience, what are some of the really important lessons that you've learned over, in your career?
Sure. One is it is not it's not a death sentence to deliver bad news.
Mhm.
And especially when you deliver anything, good news or bad news. I actually have a policy where good news is delivered by the people under me. I deliver the bad news,
Mhm.
right? Because I think it's better for the people who are under me to be the heroes. And it helps to really create trust in everybody on the team. It's not the Esther show; it's the rare show, and I try to highlight that. So it's learning the nuances of giving, delivering good news and bad news. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as somebody who came up really self-taught, self-motivated, self-directed, it is important to learn to let go. And
Mhm.
I cannot, just because someone is going, down a different path to get to the same end, I have to trust the decisions that I made in hiring my people. And
Mhm.
if I hired them because I know that they're good and they may not necessarily get to that same destination the way I would have, you just
Mhm.
sometimes have to breathe and know that I don't necessarily have all the answers. And the thing is that there's more than one way to get the job done. And as long as it's done efficiently, as long as it's ethical, as long as it's respectful to my client, and as long as we're not doing anything that would cause negative consequences in the future, I have to let go and say, let them make their magic their own way.
I-
That is hard for someone who is a very used to being in control, to
Mhm.
let go, and just be patient, and be patient with the process, and
Mhm.
know that nothing ever happens perfectly the first time.
I
So,
think
but it does make you better in the end.
I think that's so true. And raising up others is the best way to raise yourself up, raise the company up, raise the team up. I think one of the hardest things for me to learn was don't fix every problem that comes their way. Coach
Mhm.
them on how to fix the problem.
Yes,
But don't
we
fix
don't
it.
swoop.
Yeah, you don't swoop, and that's really hard to learn. To raise other, like it's easy to manage. I feel like it's easier to manage people from entry level up to learn
Mhm.
tactical skills, but it's hard to learn to manage up and engage and teach those soft skills. So,
Yes.
I think that's a really good lesson. So, besides that lesson, what if you had to go back and tell yourself 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or people doing this now, what lessons would you tell them that they need to learn it quicker, or what advice would you give them? What would you do
Yes.
differently?
So I came up in tech. I was, geek nerd, pretty much, for the last 50 years. If I could go back to my young self, there's two words I would say: take accounting. Lots and lots and
Yeah.
lots and lots of accounting. It's because in the rush to build a business, and the rush to make clients happy, and the rush to get everybody everything that you need to make this business grow,
Mhm.
watching the money is one of the things that's easy to set aside, and you can make some decisions that impair your future options. I have been very lucky. I have managed my money really well, and managed revenue and managed expenses. But I wish that I had known a little bit more about how money works.
Mhm.
It just not just the expenses and income, but just a little bit more sophistication. So I've learned now,
Mhm.
but I think if I had known more of those principles out the gate 20 years ago when I started my first company, I think it might have been a little bit more helpful. And I tell everybody this: young entrepreneurs, people who are starting out, people in college, just grit your teeth. I know you don't love it. Take it
Mhm.
anyway. Take it, and take as many of those classes as you can fit in, because the more you know about money, the more you will realize freedom.
It's funny because I've learned that a good entrepreneur is a jack of all trades and an expert of none. Like, you need to know the theory behind everything and then hire the people really good at it. But at least conceptually, I learned that lesson with HR. I never, I have an MBA. I never had to take HR classes. I don't remember one HR class I took in college. I took operations, I took accounting, and as I grew my business with more and more employees, HR was so crucial, and it's something I never learned. So yeah, it's like those, you've got to know a little bit of everything, but the accounting one for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Knowing
agree.
knowing the money is power. And especially
Hmm.
for us women, women business owners, as many people know, it's more difficult for us to get things like, private equity and funding, and it can be a little bit more of an uphill battle. So as a result, you just have to be super, super smart
Hmm.
about your money to make sure that you're able to play at the level that you need to take advantage of business growth, to be able to cover the costs of business growth. So yeah, understanding money and how it's working for you in a
Hmm.
business as well as privately is really key to success.
Yeah.
Agree completely. I often, when I tell my story, I worked for another company, was supposed to buy it. He wouldn't sell it to me. I took a course, wrote a business plan, and raised $100,000, which, 30 years ago could have been 100 million. I didn't have either one of them. Um, And I begrudgingly, it took me 6 months to write that freaking plan, but it was very financially driven. And I often say that that turned out to be a superpower because over time, the other thing that I love about what you're saying, Esther, is if we combine the data analytics and the finances, and now we look at these more sophisticated accounting firms that can give us these Power BI boards that tell us more about our business than we ever could have known. It's powerful decision-making data.
Absolutely. And we
Awesome.
find too, in a lot of the work that we do in the data side of marketing is we're very, very good at breaking down a process. We have a service, we call it Campaign Hospital. And we've taken the notion of a marketing campaign or a marketing program that might not be working the way that you want to, when we break it apart into, you think about the medical disciplines, cosmetology, which is really, you know, your user experience, or nephrology, you know, cleaning data, okay, what your kidneys do, right? You have cardiology, which is the pump, which is really the driving and how campaigns are driving. So we've taken this concept and built a process to break programs down into their core elements and look at every single element to see what is working and what is not. And it's surprising what happens when you break everything apart to see really where the inefficiencies are. And so instead of throwing out a whole program and starting over, you might be able to create smaller fixes and still realize the benefit of a more efficiently run campaign without having to go through a monumental rethinking of the way it's working.
Awesome. So Esther, we're coming up on time. You are a genius. I love talking to you. Thank you for spending time with us. Tell our audience how they can learn more about you or connect with you.
Okay. So Rare Solutions, RAARE.com or RAAREsolutions.com. You can reach us there. You can reach me at ePoulsen, EPOULSEN at rare.com. If you have any questions, you can find us in LinkedIn and normal social media channels. And then I will be coming out with a book later this year called Second Banana. And it's about empowerment and satisfaction living and working behind the scenes.
Love it. Second Banana. We'll be looking forward to that. And all of this will be in the show notes. So thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Esther.
Thank you. It was a pleasure and a privilege today. Thank you. You are luminaries yourselves, and it is really an honor to be here with you today.
Oh, well, thank you. So to our audience, we wish you a great journey. And until next episode, we hope you embrace failure because it is something you learn from and grow from. So thanks, everyone. Until next time, take care.